Hello, my name is Joanna and I'm the bra boss of Kent. I'm a fully qualified bra fitter based in Faversham. This is just a little video saying hello and introducing myself, just to give you a bit of background on my experience working in the lingerie industry. So I fell into the industry. I hadn't planned to be a bra fitter from a young age or anything like that. I think it's one of those jobs that you don't really realise exists until you're a bit older. So I actually studied at university. I did criminology and sociology. So originally I had planned to actually join the police or do something behind the scenes with that. Didn't really pan out that way in the end, but yeah, I absolutely love working in lingerie. So the way that I fell into it was working in a independent department store called Phoenix, which my local one is in Canterbury. And that's where I grew up as well. So after finishing uni, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I had to make a little bit of money. So I started actually working in a different department. It was seasonal. So once that finished, they moved me to the lingerie department. They kind of said, give it a go, see if you like it. We'll give you all the training, etc. And I absolutely loved it. It was a really good department to work in. The rest of the team were lovely, really, really helpful, and I felt like this was for me. It was really, really good. I had all my fit training with one of the brands that we stocked there. Back in the day, they were called Evedom, and they actually owned the well-known brands Fantasy and Freya. They're now called Wacko, and they still own Fantasy and Freya and the brand Wacko itself, and a few other brands including Ilomi as well, which funnily enough now I actually stock at Bra Boss HQ. So everything's done a bit of a full circle for me. So yeah, I had all my fit training with them, went up to their head office for a couple of days, went through everything about bras, the history of lingerie, everything, and then did some real fittings as well. So you actually learn with real people, with models. They wear the wrong size bra and then you're there to put them in the right size bra. So it's not something that you can learn overnight. It's not something that you instantly go, oh right, that's it, I've got it straight away. It does take time. And yeah, I worked in the department store for a little while and absolutely loved it. I then long story short, I ended up working for a brand called Gossard. I actually came away from the shop floor and I moved into the wholesale side. So instead of being a staff member on the shop floor fitting the products, I actually worked for the brand and I worked in wholesale. So I would then look after and manage the southeast of the UK, and the shops that I would look after, I would go into, and I was in sales. So I would go with the seasonal collections of product, meet with the owners or the buyers of the stores, and drive around the country with a car full of bras basically. So yeah, I did that for a few different brands. I worked at Gossard and Burley for about 5 years. Absolutely loved it. Again, worked with some really lovely people, and I learned so much more about the actual products. We worked quite closely with the design teams. I'd attend meetings with product, with R&D, marketing, PR. So it's kind of everything mixed together, which is great. Gossard's actually quite a small company. Although it's a well-known brand, it's quite a small team, so you actually do get involved quite a lot with all the different areas, which was really interesting. So I worked there for a few years. I then moved to a brand called Best Form. This was a French company, well, it's split between France and Spain, so from Paris and Barcelona, which sounds really glam, which I did travel to both for work and for meetings. Reality is that you get a flight at like 5 in the morning, you do a full day of meetings, you don't see any sights, and you then go home. So it wasn't like I was on a tour bus or going to the Eiffel Tower and being wined and dined. It was quite literally, you would fly in, do your meetings and fly home again. But again, it was really, really interesting. This product was split between very high-end product and then much more comfort, everyday, quite classic lingerie as well. So that was really interesting. I then moved to another well-known brand called Panache, which were lovely. Such a nice team, such lovely product as well. So again, I was moving into the same role as area manager. or sales executive. They would that was the role at Panache, and again I would go to the different stores. Some of my customers included Liberties of London. Well, there's a lovely lingerie sort of boutique within Liberties, which is independent, but it was fab. And over the years at various brands, I've worked with Sweatshop, I've helped out with Debenhams and Amazon, Fig Leaves, ASOS, lots of amazing companies, but my heart always lies with the smaller independent stores. So my main customer base would be Phoenix, and then your smaller lingerie boutique that you'd find in the high street, which are just amazing. So I'd always recommend to go to a local professional bra fitter. You will have one nearby. There are a lot more probably out there than you realise. I've pretty much been to all of them. So yeah, so that's my experience sort of like before I launched Bra Boss. It involved a lot of driving, it involved a lot of staying away from home, which when I started off when I was about 22, absolutely loved it. I thought it's different every day. I've never been a person that's wanted to work sort of in an office and just sit at a desk every day and sort of be at a laptop, which I know a lot of people do, which is great, but that's not for me. So when I first started, I was like, oh, do you know what, this is for me. Like it's different every day, I get to meet new people. So yeah, absolutely loved it. Got to stay in some quite nice places. I made sure that I booked nice places to stay, not just some grotty, horrible hotel somewhere. So I thought, thank God for Airbnb. There were some absolutely lovely places that I stayed. So yeah, so from moving to the different brands, I was probably doing loads and loads of miles on the road. It was a job where you moved around a lot and you didn't really see your home very much, including trade shows and things, which again were so much fun. You'd go out to the NEC in Birmingham, and you'd have a big trade show up there and meet lots of different people, and it was fab. But after doing that for sort of 8-9 years, obviously I grew up, I met my boyfriend, I bought a house, and it came to a point where I thought, do you know what, I would quite like to be at home a bit more rather than living up my mini suitcase. Got so much use out of that mini suitcase. And although I absolutely do love driving, being on the M25 every single day of your life for hours at a time does wear thin quite quickly. And yeah, getting stuck on the Dartford crossing and the Blackwall Tunnel was becoming a very sort of everyday routine, which after a while just isn't as much fun anymore. But the main reason that I changed what I did was I would go into all the lovely boutiques that I would look after, meet the lovely ladies that ran them, and I would just want to do it myself. I would just walk out of there thinking, oh, I really want to do this. And I think towards the end of when I was doing my job, I would be quite open about it to the other lingerie owners and say, I'm so jealous of what you do. It's really hard work. It's not playing shop and sort of, you know, buying in some lovely lingerie and then hoping people come in. It's really hard work. You have to know your stuff. And but even so, like when I would leave a shop, I would just think, oh, I'd love to do my own thing. And you know, you just have that pang of sort of like, oh, like I really want to do this, and you know, if I don't give it a go, I'm going to regret it. So yeah, it was about it was about January last year, so yeah, 2019, that I just thought, you know what, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. So I made the decision to leave my job with nothing to go to. So not recommended for everybody. It was quite a big decision to make. It's not something I woke up one day and thought, you know what, I'm going to quit my job. I thought about it for a long time, and because it had always been a dream of mine to do it, and I knew that I needed to have a little bit of sort of savings behind me. I had been saving for quite a while to do this. So I worked really hard, managed to sort of put a little bit by, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it now. If I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. So yeah, I literally quit my job, had nothing to go to, which was quite scary but also really exciting. And I think there's nothing quite like it. If you haven't got a job and you need to do something about it, there's nothing like it to sort of give you a bit of kick up the bum and think, right, okay, I need to do this now, which is really exciting. And I know that I work better under pressure. So yeah, it was something for me that I kind of had to do. My job beforehand was quite a full-on job. It was never a 9 to 5. It was probably, we'd always joke it was a 5 till 9 sort of job. I'll be leaving the house at sort of 6 in the morning, and not every day, but you know, early hours, staying away from home like I said before, and sometimes not getting home till 10, 11 at night. So it wasn't something that I could do both at the same time. I couldn't set up a shop and start my own business as well as doing the career that I was in before. So I had to take the plunge, so to speak, and yeah, and give it a go. And here I am today. So I'm really pleased to say that everything so far has been going really well. I can't thank everyone enough that I know that's helped me. It's been amazing. But the people that I literally cannot thank enough is the Pop-Up Business School. They've got their own YouTube channel and their own social media and everything, and they are absolutely amazing. I attended a few of their courses, which are just amazing and free to go to. It's all about starting up your own business, doing it in a little bit of a different way. Yeah, and I got the idea of the Bra Boss of Kent, my name there. I got the idea of lots of different things that I was going to do, and they just really give you that that oomph to get going and just to start doing stuff really. So yeah, so fast forward a year and a bit, and here I am. So yeah, that's a bit about me. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to be doing a few more videos about the Bra Boss of Kent, what I'm all about, lots of different questions, lots of different topics I'm going to cover as well. So yeah, keep tuned, stay tuned, and subscribe. That would be amazing if you did. And thank you so much for listening. Bye.